Thank you all for making this week as well as all previous weeks, those who have been here with us for all this while. We are very grateful for your time. We know time is precious, but you take time to be with us every week now and then. We have my team here, Daniel, our community manager. Richmond is hiding behind his camera. Richmond Opong, our designer, all-time designer. Jeremiah Anye is one of the resource persons, and today he's going to take us through what we are going to do. Behind the scenes, we have Fako, Emilia Safo, and Irajwa, as well as Mustafa. And all of us come together to bring you the school every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We appreciate your time very much. And today, we are going to go through blockchain fundamentals. We're supposed to start with this course, but then because at the time that we started the school, we needed critically to take you through the Cardano community and Project Catalyst, because that was the time you were needed to come on board to either put in a proposal or to be a project, a proposal assessor. So we are going back to start with the fundamentals of blockchain. What is a blockchain and what benefits? We are going to go, it may take about a week or two to do this thing. And then we end up with the reason why we are on the Cardano blockchain and all. So not to waste much time, I'll call our presenter today, who is going to take us through the school, Jeremy, and he's going to take us through fundamentals of blockchain. Hold your questions, you can type them in the chat. And then when we get to questions and answers, we are all here to help you out. Back to Jeremy. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Maifia, and the entire team for the great work you are doing. And hi to everyone on this call today who have taken a bold step to learn something new. Yeah, and we are assuring you that we'll give you the best. And so let's pay attention. So whatever question you have along the line, you can take note of it. Then during the Q&A session, you can ask your questions. All right, so like Maifia already said, my name is Jeremiah Bani, and I'll be taking you through the session for today on the fundamentals of blockchain technology. Okay, and before we start the lesson, let's just take note of this disclaimer. So this is not a Bitcoin introduction. So I'm not coming to introduce you to Bitcoin and how to invest in Bitcoin or the likes. No. So this is a high-level introduction to blockchain technology. However, we'll acknowledge Satoshi Nakamoto. That is the pseudonym for his great creation, that is Bitcoin, which is the popularized blockchain technology and one of the first or the earliest to be discovered. And so today there are flavors of blockchain. So this presentation is trying to enlighten you on some of the blockchains we have, what blockchain technology is, and how you can leverage on these technologies to at least either participate or utilize it either as an individual or as a business. All right, so let's move to the next page. All right, so let's look at a brief history of blockchain. When did all this thing begin, or when did it commence? So on October 31st, 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto released the Bitcoin white paper outlining a pure peer-to-peer electronic cash or digital asset transfer system. Yeah, so this is where blockchain technology was discovered in 2008, 31st October. That was when the Bitcoin white paper was released by Satoshi Nakamoto. Until today, the inventor of Bitcoin, the full name has not been known. So this is a coded name, Satoshi Nakamoto. And people are tracing its origin to Japan, because the name sounds more or less like a Japanese name. And since then, people have been guessing. Some say it is Elon Musk. Others mention the name of some scientists, among others. Yes, but some also said it's a group of IT companies that came together to develop Bitcoin by saying the SA stands for Samsung, the TOSHI stands for Toshiba, then the NAKA stands for Nakamichi, then the MOTO stands for Motorola. So that these giant global companies came together to form Bitcoin. Well, we don't know. So whoever finds the name can also bring it forth. All right, so this is the first popular implementation of blockchain, and it's attributed as birthing today's blockchain industry. Since then, additional blockchains have been popularized. We have Ethereum, Cardano, Internet Computer, Solana, Dash, among others. So we have a lot of blockchains now in the system. All right, so, and Cardano is a blockchain that is giving us this opportunity to even reach out to you to learn for free. So this one, we have to give a kudos to Cardano blockchain. Next slide. All right, so what is blockchain? So blockchain is a system comprised of transactions, immutable ledgers, decentralized peers, encryption processes, consensus mechanisms, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts. So when you are talking decentralized peers, encryptions, consensus, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, among others. All right, so let's move to the next slide. So we look at them one after the other. Okay, so when we talk about transactions in blockchain, what do we mean? As with enterprise transactions today, blockchain is a historical archive of decisions and actions taken. Yes, which is very true. I think maybe as we go on, we'll see we'll see a diagram of how blockchain actually works, and this will be clearer. But blockchain is actually a historical archive of decisions. When we say a historical archive of decisions, it means it stores data or set of data from the day it was created until today. So it means every transaction that was effected on the blockchain still remains until today. And the first transaction that was executed is what we call the Genesis transaction, or the Genesis block. Then from there, other transactions or data that have been appended onto the blockchain are linked to each other. So that is where the name comes from, blockchain. So every transaction or data is linked to the next set of data in that order until today. All right, so these are some of the notable transaction use cases on the blockchain. So we have land registration that is being carried out on the blockchain, that is replacing requirements for research of deeds. So Sweden is one of the countries that has implemented this. I don't know maybe how far it has gone, whether it's still in the pilot stages or it is now fully implemented. So land registrations now are being managed on the blockchain. I think even in Ghana, there's a project that's ongoing, Landano or so, and they also want to deal with issues of land registration. And this is all run on the Cardano blockchain as well. So we also have personal identification, that is replacement of birth and death certificates, driver's licenses, social security, among others. So the blockchain is also able to hold these kind of data such that they are stored digitally on the blockchain, where you can have access to your certificates, birth and death certificate, driver's licenses, any important certificate at all can be captured on the blockchain, where they will never get lost forever and ever. And that is what makes it very important. And I think another initiative put up by the Cardano blockchain in Ethiopia is giving identity to over 5 million students. Giving identity to over 5 million students. And this is all run on the Cardano blockchain. So with time, we'll begin to hear all these major news come to light on our various media. Then transportation, bills of lading, tracking, certificates of origin, international forms. So all this can be minted or can be run on the blockchain. So from land registration to personal identification to transportation to banking to manufacturing to food distribution, audits, all these transactions can be run on the blockchain safely and in a secured and protected manner. Due to time, we'll not be able to pick them one after the other and digest them, but I'm just coming to introduce you to these concepts like I am doing. And from there, you can research more on the internet or even on YouTube to get much information. So let's take note about transactions on the blockchain. Next slide, please. All right, so blockchain also contains immutable ledgers. So when we say immutable, it means something that cannot be easily destroyed. So that makes it immutable. So as with existing databases, blockchain retains data through transactions. So every transaction, like I explained earlier under transactions in our previous slide, so every transaction that has been executed on the blockchain remains till today. So from 2009 or 2008 until today, transactions that are being run on the Bitcoin blockchain, it's still there until today. And since 2015, transactions that were run on the Cardano blockchain till today, it's still on the Cardano blockchain and can be traced. So the difference is that once written to the chain or once written to the blockchain, the blocks, that is the set of data, can be changed, but it is extremely difficult to do so. So that is why usually even some books will say it is not possible making changes to data on the blockchain because it is written there permanently and requires a lot of work if you want to change something there. All right, so how does the changing take place? It requires rework on all subsequent blocks and consensus of each. So you see the kind of work you go through. You have to rework all the subsequent blocks of data that was sent onto the blockchain, and this is very difficult. So, and the transaction is immutable or indelible. Yes, which I explained already. So immutable means it's difficult to delete permanently on the blockchain. And in DBA terms, that is database administration terms, blockchains are write and read only. So blockchains allow you, when we say they are write and read, what it simply means is that you are able to create information or data and store it onto the blockchain. So that is writing onto the blockchain. And reading from the blockchain means you are able to view whatsoever data that has been stored on the blockchain. So blockchains allow some of these database activities to also take place on the blockchain, such as the read and write capabilities. So like a ledger written in ink, an error will be resolved with another entry. So good. So what happens on the blockchain? Maybe some of you from an accounting background, you know, we have ledgers, how to enter a ledger. You have to create an account, a debit and a credit. So when there's an error, what you do is that you have to open another entry, then now enter the correct information onto it. So thereby nullifying the old one, but which you don't delete permanently, because that is not possible in a ledger. You don't delete, but once you create a new entry with the same name, then whoever comes to see it will know that entry A was canceled and a new entry, that is B, has been created, which makes it easier for people to understand and also for you to make the correction of the error that was in the previous entry, that is entry A. All right, so that is how immutability is. So when we say blockchain is decentralized, what we mean is that it is not controlled by a centralized body or authority, as in the traditional hub and spoke network system. So can we all see the first diagram? We can see a hub in a black circle. That is the first diagram with some interconnected nodes, which we call spokes. Yes, or maybe in simple terms, devices. So with this, you see that the devices connected, which are in green, cannot take decisions by themselves. So they are highly regulated by the hub, which is at the center. So it is the hub that sets the direction, maybe places limit on transactions you can make. And when a point of failure in the middle, the hub, that means the whole system shuts down and no work can be done. And that is what blockchains have come to solve. That is what Cardano blockchain has come to also solve, because Cardano blockchain is one of the most decentralized blockchains you can ever think of, where power is in the hands of the people. The Cardano blockchain on its own is not sitting on one server somewhere where maybe when there's a collapse, the entire network goes down. No, once you have a device that you have downloaded the Cardano blockchain onto, you are part of the, you also become a server that runs the Cardano network or any other decentralized blockchain network. So typically, this is how a blockchain network looks like. So it is distributed. So you can see from the second diagram, we don't have a central point of operation. So here you can see that every other node is connected to a sister node. So with this one, that is why maybe those of you who are following crypto news globally, you hear that China has banned Bitcoin like 3 times, and still the thing is not wiped out of the system. And the reason being that Bitcoin blockchain is distributed like this diagram. So therefore, it is not centralized. So we'll say it's not only the miners in China that have control over Bitcoin. So even if China is successful in closing all the mining farms of Bitcoin in China, it will not still go down, because you go to the US, we still have Bitcoin mining farms. You go to Europe, we have Bitcoin mining farms. You come to Africa, we have some Bitcoin mining farms. So that actually makes it distributed. And so therefore it becomes very difficult to shut down. So 24/7, the system is operational, and you can make transactions, you can develop applications on the blockchain. All right, next slide. All right, so blockchain also uses some protocols which we call encryption. So they use standard encryption practices. And when we say encryption, it means in simple terms, it is changing plain text into another form of text that makes it difficult for you to read and understand. So maybe let's say Daniel wants to send an information to, let's say, Isaac. And maybe Daniel writes the message and wants to pass it through, let's say, Kofi. So, and maybe the message reads that Daniel wrote that, I will buy you a car, and doesn't want Kofi, the messenger, to know what he has written there. So what Daniel can do is to maybe change the language. I will buy you a car, maybe to 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So with that, when maybe Kofi is not being honest and decides to open that letter, what Kofi will see is 1, 2, 3, 7, which makes no which doesn't make sense to him. So he wouldn't understand what's going on. But once it gets to Isaac, maybe Daniel had already communicated a certain code to Isaac that when you see 1, it means I will, 2 means this, 3, in that order. So once the message gets to Isaac, Isaac is now also able to interpret it with the code Daniel has given to him. And now Isaac will read it as, hey, then Isaac will read it and start jumping and jubilating, because what Daniel wrote there is that I will buy you a car. But Kofi doesn't really know the contents of it. So that is the same strategy that is applied on the blockchain. So transaction, even though transactions are open, everybody on the network can view, but they are still encrypted, in the sense that once you are not the rightful owner, you will not really be able to understand some sensitive contents of the message that is being sent across the blockchain. And what makes it interesting, maybe if we have software developers here, or those of you with programming background, so blockchains allow for BYOE, that is bring your own encryption. So maybe you have learned several encryption algorithms. You are able to actually create your own encryption algorithms and implement it on the blockchain. And that actually makes it very good for software developers to protect their applications and data on the blockchain. And also, all blocks are encrypted. So every set of data on the blockchain is encrypted. So you can't easily mess around with people's data. All right, so some blockchains are public, some are private. So private blockchains employ user rights for visibility. That is, so private blockchains, you have to seek permission to be able to access some level of data on the blockchain. but with the public, it is open and you can have access to it, even though there are some encryptions too as well. All right, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, so another thing you should take note of when you are looking at blockchains is that blockchains are created using some consensus protocols or some consensus mechanisms. So, and what does consensus protocols do? They ensure that the next block or the next set of data in a blockchain is the one and only version of the truth. Because one of the key characteristics of blockchain is trustworthiness or truthfulness, which we can see in most of our legacy systems that are running in our traditional working environments. So blockchain is actually introduced with their consensus mechanisms to check these things. So even though we have a lot of consensus mechanisms, each has its advantage and disadvantages. So we are just going to look at some few examples here. There are a lot, but these are just a few for the sake of the presentation. So we have proof of work consensus mechanisms. And when we say proof of work, it means these blockchains allow the running of the blockchain by mining, that is devices mining to solve complex mathematical problems. So that is what we call the proof of work. So when computers or servers compete by processing to solve complex mathematical functions on the blockchain. So the first one, whichever device solves the problem first, is rewarded with some tokens. So that is how the Bitcoin blockchain is run. So Bitcoin is a proof of work blockchain. Same applies to Ethereum as of now, though they're also trying to move to another consensus mechanism. But right now, as we speak, Ethereum is also a proof of work blockchain. So the network is being operated through mining, that is solving of complex mathematical problems for rewards. Then we also have proof of stake. So proof of stake blockchains. So some examples of proof of stake blockchains are Cardano. So far, it's one of the most powerful proof of stake blockchains we have. And their blockchain is being run by node operators, or whom we call stake pool operators. So they run the network, and the mechanism they also use is epoch. That is, the system is running and rewards users of the system every 5 days. So I think in previous lessons, we're talking about delegation and all that. So that is the mechanism that is being used to reward users who delegate, for example, their ADA, maybe to a stake pool operator. Every 5 days, you earn some rewards from it. And this is only achieved through proof of stake blockchains. All right, so we also have proof of elapsed time, proof of activity, proof of burn, proof of capacity, proof of importance, among others. So there are many. I'm not going to take them one after the other. So I am just here to open your eyes to some of them. And once you get back home, you'll be able to research more on it. So what I have been talking about, so this is how blockchain works. So this is the entire process of how blockchains work. So step one, a transaction is requested. That is, maybe you want to send money on the blockchain. So this is the transaction. Can you see the orange arrow on top of one? Yeah, so that is the transaction that is being requested. And two, the transaction is broadcasted to the in basic terms, maybe those of you who have sent a broadcast message on WhatsApp, maybe you create your broadcast list, then you send one message, and it goes to all the participants on your broadcast list as if you have sent them direct messages. So that is what happens on the blockchain. So once you send a message, it is broadcasted across the network. And so you can see it. So in the first step where we had one arrow, so as it's broadcasted, the two in circle below it, you can see that that one arrow is now 3 arrows. So it means the data has been broadcasted to the entire network. And 3, the network is validating the transaction using cryptography, and which I explained earlier. That is cryptography or encryption. That is, you secure the data such that unauthorized users are not able to have access to all the details or content of that information you are sending across the network. So it goes through a process of what? Encryption, known as cryptography. All right, so the 4th step, transactions is represented online as a block. So every transaction you execute on the blockchain is represented as a block. And when we say block, it means data. So in IT, when we say block, it means data. All right, so and in step 5, block is added to the existing blockchain. So from our first, almost one of our earlier slides, we said that the blockchain keeps records of what? Historical data. So once you send information on the blockchain, so it is added to the existing data that is already on the blockchain. So if there was data A and data B, once you are sending data C, it also comes to join data B. So now making it A, B, C. And you can see on top of step 5, the 5 in circle, on top of it, you can see that you can see some rectangles, or is it even square, with some arrows linking them. So these are now the blocks that are interconnected, or the data. So that is what even gives us the name blockchain. So it means the data are what? Chained to each other. So interconnected. Said that the first one is connected to the second to the third to the fourth, in that order. All right, so and the final step. So once this is done, once it is being appended on the blockchain, so what happens is that the transaction is complete. And so basically, this is the entire process that goes on, which we only see through our smartphones and computers, that I sent money or I sent Cardano. Those of you who received your rewards. So this is the process it went through before it even got to you. And all that was run on the blockchain. Next slide, please. All right, so cryptocurrency. So let's basically look at cryptocurrency too. So cryptocurrency, as the name suggests, is coined from a combination of 2 concepts, that is cryptography and currency. And cryptography is more or less like encryption, which I explained. So cryptography involves the use of advanced mathematical concepts to secure our funds, to ensure that nobody is able to spend the funds. So when you hear the name cryptocurrency, so simply, this is the logic that is holding it and makes it secured than the traditional fiat currencies we use. When we say fiat currencies, it means the CD we use, the dollar, the naira. So these are what? Fiat currencies. But when we talk about cryptocurrencies, So this is Bitcoin, Cardano, that is the ADA token, the Ethereum token, among others. So these are and cryptocurrencies are also run on the blockchain. So cryptocurrencies don't run alone. So that is what you should take note of and enlighten your friends and family about cryptocurrency. So there are also currencies, digital currencies that run on the blockchain. And one interesting fact I want you to also take note of is that cryptocurrencies are run on the blockchain, but not all cryptocurrencies are blockchain platforms. So we should take note of that. Not all cryptocurrencies are blockchain platforms. So Bitcoin is a blockchain. And interestingly, their token is also called Bitcoin. So their cryptocurrency is called Bitcoin. Ethereum is also a blockchain, and its cryptocurrency is also called Ethereum. So the Ethereum token. Cardano is also a blockchain on its own, and its cryptocurrency is the Cardano token or the ADA token. So these are some of the things you should take note of. But we have some cryptocurrencies that run on other blockchains. So Ethereum, for example, like this, runs a lot of other cryptocurrencies which are not blockchains, but they are using the Ethereum platform to run or operate their cryptocurrencies. The same applies to Cardano as well. I think we have Husky token, among others. These are all run on the Cardano blockchain. So let's take note of that. So the blockchain is the mother platform on which cryptocurrencies operate or run. All right, next slide. So basically, these are some few examples of cryptocurrencies. We have over 10,000 different cryptocurrencies. So there are a lot. And if you want to explore on them, you can go to CoinMarketCap, where you can have a list of the over 10,000 cryptocurrencies we have, or you can also use CoinGecko. You can also explore around CoinGecko. You also have access to the cryptocurrencies there, or coin ranking. You can have access to a lot of the cryptocurrencies there. So Bitcoin goes with this orange logo with the slanted B inside. So with its abbreviation as BTC. So maybe there are places you will not see Bitcoin written in full, but you see BTC or the logo, and that should inform you that that's Bitcoin. So Ethereum too is this diamond logo. Almighty Cardano is also here, a very nice logo. So with its short name as ADA. Then we also have one of the cryptocurrency, but that is actually a stable coin. It is known as Theta, or some would say Terra. And its abbreviation is USDT. So we have the Binance coin, Polkadot, XRP, Litecoin, Internet Computer, Chainlink, among others. So you can explore on some of the sites I mentioned, CoinMarketCap, CoinRanking, CoinGecko. You'll be able to have more information about these cryptocurrencies. All right, next slide. Okay, so why cryptocurrencies? So why are cryptocurrencies important? Why are cryptocurrencies important? So cryptocurrencies are important because, one, they are permissionless. So when we say cryptocurrencies are permissionless, what do we mean? So cryptocurrencies are permissionless in the sense that nobody can stop you from using cryptocurrencies. Unlike the centralized payment systems, or the traditional payment systems we have, such as the banks, they can decide to freeze your assets or prevent you from making transactions. But with cryptocurrency, you are free to do so. You can be sitting here. I can be sitting in my room now and maybe decide to send over $1 million to somebody in the US, and I will never be charged for money laundering or anything. And once I am using it for legal purposes, then I am cool to go, because there's no centralized body that is monitoring your transactions. And also maybe you could get a visa to travel abroad, maybe to the US. And you know, with this money laundering policies, you are not supposed to so if it's the physical cash you are carrying. So, but with cryptocurrencies, nobody knows the amount you are traveling. You might even go without money in your pocket, but once you get to the country you are going to, then what you can do is that you just remember your username and password, you log in, then you're able to convert your cryptos into any of the fiat currencies they spend there and start enjoying that money. So cryptocurrencies are actually permissionless. You can use it without being monitored or stopped or prevented by any centralized entity. And cryptocurrencies are also censorship resistant. When we say censorship resistant, what we mean is that because of the way the blockchain networks are designed, it is nearly impossible for hackers or other attackers to shut the blockchain network down. Because of the sophisticated way in which the blockchains are designed, it is nearly impossible. I can't say it is impossible, but nearly means before you, the hacker, you are also able to hack the system. It will cost you millions of dollars. And one of the blockchains that have put in that measure is the Cardano blockchain. They have made it such that if a hacker wants to hack down over 51% of the blockchain network, then it will cost you several millions of dollars to be able to possess that percentage of the blockchain. So, and I'm sure usually hackers, what they are interested in is hacking to make money. So it will not be wise for a hacker maybe to hack a blockchain, which the hacker will have to pay like over $100 billion to have access to more than half of the blockchain. That will not be possible. So it makes it very difficult for hackers to shut down a blockchain network. All right, and the third point is, it is also why cryptocurrencies are a cheap and fast payment method. Yes, which is very true. So when you make transactions to someone at the other side of the world, your money can be with them within seconds, which is very true. Within the twinkle of an eye, I can send you some ADA tokens, and in the next few seconds to minutes, you already receive it in your wallet. And some are even super faster. Within seconds, once you send it, within 5 to 10 seconds, the money is already in your account. Unlike the traditional systems, they are sending it to you. It will take months or days to hit your wallet or your bank account. With cryptocurrencies, it becomes very easier. All right. So I think I will end the lesson here so that we'll take questions and then maybe continue another time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. That was very insightful and very educative.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please do raise your hand and then you'll be called to.
If you have any question, kindly raise up your hand. Use the emoji icon. Okay, Edinam. Edinam, please, you
Please,
can
I'd
talk.
like to know what are some of the problems that can go wrong if you're trying to make a transfer using blockchain?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the question. Yes, what can go wrong? Number one is when you are sending to a receiving address and you don't copy the address correctly. Or maybe you copy portions of the address, or maybe in the process of pasting the address, you add other characters to the address, then you are, it's most likely you will send it to the wrong destination. And with that, once that is done, there are slim chances of you recovering your funds. So it is always important to copy the receiving address, confirm maybe multiple times. You take note of the first part of the address and the last part, so that, because usually these are places where you can easily add some extra characters to jam everything up. So once you check to make sure it is correct, then you can now send successfully. Yes, or another thing is that maybe to prevent successful transactions is maybe when the network, when that blockchain network is down, with that until it is being revived, there's no way you can transact there. So transactions will be paused for a while. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. We have a question in the chat.
Yes, please, good evening.
Hadi, please, can you raise up your hand? We'll call you to ask your question.
Good evening.
Can you please raise up your hand? We'll call you to ask your question.
Hello.
Okay, so there's a question in the chat. Solomon is asking, how do we delegate data for those of us who did assessments? I think this was addressed last week, and
Yeah.
Richmond, are you there to answer this one? Or Jeremiah, you take it.
Yes, I think maybe I'll just summarize it here, but if you want to know more, I think the video is even out. It has been posted, so you can watch from, but to delegate, you need to hold some few ADA, minimum of 5 ADA in your wallet, and then you can hit on the delegate button. Then you search for WADA stake pool, or once you just type WADA in the search bar and search for it, WADA will appear. Then once you click on WADA, then they will require you to enter your spending password. And once you enter, then you'll be notified on your dashboard that you have successfully delegated your ADA to WADA stake pool. So that is how delegation is done. You log into your Yoroi wallet, you go to your dashboard, you will see delegate. Then you hit on the delegate. It's a blue button, usually on the mobile phones. You click on it. Then on top, you see a search bar. You type WADA. Then once you just type WADA without even adding the stake pool, you see WADA appear. Then you select WADA. Then they'll ask you to enter your spending password. Once you enter it correctly, then you are successfully delegated. Thank you.
Okay, so we have 5 hands up. We'll just take this question, these 5 people. Then we'll cease with the question and answer session. So we have Jano. Jano, please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I want to ask the delegation, did it start this fund or it started before? because uh, I have done some this thing, the PA this I've done some before, but nothing came into my address wallet. So I want to know if it's because I didn't do any delegation.
Okay. Which funding round did you do the PA? Which funding round?
Yeah, the fund 8.
Fund 8. And were you having money in your wallet?
No.
Okay. So that's the reason why you didn't get your reward.
Okay, so
Can I also add to this?
Yes, please, you can.
It's not that alone. It might be that your assessments were filtered out
Yep.
okay.
because if you had correct, good assessment and you are going to be given money, sometimes they'll send you an email to find out whether you are doing that you've dedicated. That's why people who are on this class, we want you all to delegate. That is one. But the other case
Okay.
might be that your assessments were filtered out. So we are urging all of you, those doing assessments, please, please, please be careful. If you are able to do just 10 assessments and they are good, they are excellent, you start building up your investments than doing plenty assessments and then they will all be filtered out. So please do good work, quality over quantity. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Ifya. So
Okay, and to add to this, please, I want to know if there is somebody I can contact to lead me in doing the assessment work, because I have the passion, but it seems anytime I'll go there, I don't know where to start and where to
okay.
even end.
Do you have a copy of the guide to assessments?
Yes, I have it.
That is
I've
all that you need. That is all that you need, say. Nobody can hold your hand through the assessments. Read the guide, understand it. So when
okay.
you pick an assessment that you want to do, read the brief of the challenge. Read the brief of the challenge.
Okay.
When you look
Okay.
up there, they say it's brief. And when you read the brief, please make sure you understand it. The assessment is the understanding of the brief and the proposal that will make you be able to compare the two to able to deliver a good assessment.
Okay.
Please, are you
Thank
clear
you.
with this?
Yeah,
I'm
very
We
clear.
can continue in our group chats. You can, if you are not clear on anything, you can continue. You can ask in the group chat, and we are there to help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And additional to that, we have a YouTube channel and we have a video there. We have a video that's talking about assessment. So visit Catalyst Africa Town Hall on YouTube. You see the videos on assessment and how to become a proposer assessment.
Okay.
So please go to our YouTube and subscribe so that whenever we post videos, you'll be able to get it on time. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's take Solomon. Solomon, kindly unmute yourself. Solomon, your question, please.
Good evening. I wanted to know what mechanism do those Ponzi schemes use, and has there been any other case where a mechanism for Ponzi schemes and then later on, like, it collapses? Has there been any situation like that? Or as for Cardano, it's devoid of that, or it cannot be done with it.
Okay. Jeremiah, would you like to take this question?
Okay, yes. Let me attempt the question. Thanks, Solomon, for your question. Yeah, in as much as we have genuine blockchains in operation, so anywhere we have genuine blockchains, definitely there will be the counterfeit ones as well. That is scam or fraudulent one. So there's something we call in the blockchain crypto space, do your own research. That is, you have to study more about the blockchain platform, what they are out to do, the community behind the blockchain, and are their members accessible, to what extent. So this will inform you on your linkage with that particular blockchain. And for Cardano, for instance, if not the biggest, but it is one of the largest blockchains, blockchain solutions we have in the world as we speak now, and has a very large community. Cardano is one of the largest, has one of the largest community, and whatever they do is transparent. Another interesting thing about Cardano, where it is difficult for it to shut down completely, is because of its decentralized nature. Like I explained in some of my previous slides when I was presenting, that there's no single point of failure. So it is decentralized. So different node operators or stake pool operators across the world. So it is therefore nearly impossible for the entire network to collapse or go down. And Cardano is not a scam. It's not a scam. They have helped, they are helping a lot. Even this entire process, it's Cardano that is even making it possible for us to teach you for free, and also allow you to access proposals. Proposal writing and submission is a pure academic work, and I'm not sure any Ponzi scheme will be ready to sponsor something that will benefit. What they will be interested in is bring your money so that we'll multiply it for you. But Cardano, you are accessing the proposals for free. Nobody has charged you anything. So these are some of the tips that will inform you as to how good a blockchain project is. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. That is very constructive answer. I've sent our WhatsApp group link to the chat. So those of you who are not in the group, kindly click on it and join. And then I've also shared our YouTube channel with you. Kindly click on the link and then subscribe to our channel. Share with your friends and let's grow together. So let's take this question from Manaf Suleiman. Manaf, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah. Good evening. Please, my question is, I want to find out, for instance, if mistakenly I sent a fund to an account that I know the account. So can I retrieve it back? For instance, when the person refuses to send it back to, or because maybe I will not be able to see the person, the one I'm sending it to, will it be possible for me to get that funds back? And secondly, when mistakenly I send the funds or the coin to an individual, does it mean that no matter what, a person or it should be in somebody's account? If not, then where does it go? Like, where does that fund goes to? So, and my question also is the app. For instance, if I want to download an app, go to Google and I just write Cardano. How will I get a specific one to download for me to start a transaction or operating on Cardano? how will I see that? What am I going to see that will tell me that, oh, this the app is the original or the authentic Cardano app? Thank you.
Okay, Manaf, your question is well answered. Let me start from the first one, then I think Jeremiah will also continue. How do you call it? Before you can send money to someone on the blockchain, you need a person's address. You need to ask the person address. So each of you have an address. If you have downloaded the URL wallet or the other wallet, that means, and you have registered, that means you have an address, and the address is unique, special for you. No two people can have the same wallet. No two people can have the same address. So when I ask you for your address and you send it to me, I just have to copy it and send the money to your account. In case I send more than necessary, I can only ask you to retain the balance. I can't retrieve it myself. So when you are doing transaction on the blockchain, you have to be very careful and know the address that you are sending your money to. We don't believe that you can mistakenly send money to someone, because even if you click on the send, they will ask you for your spending password. The spending password is special, unique. You're the only person you know it, because you created an account by yourself, and you're not supposed to share this spending password with anybody. So you have to type the spending password before you click send. That means you are conscious and you are aware of the transaction that you are doing. And the second one about the app, Cardano is not an app. Cardano is a blockchain. And there are various wallets that you can use to hold your token, your ADA token. One of them, the most common one that all of us are using, is the Yoroi, YOROI. We have a video of this on our YouTube channel as well. Just visit African Town Hall. We have a video of it, the way the apps look like. Download it. We have the steps, how you can register, and how you can keep your seed phrase in a secure place. So I hope I've answered your question. And Jeremiah, Madam, if you have anything to add to it for more clarification, you can, please. And then that will take the next question from.
Yes, I'm okay with the question.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll take the last question, because we are behind time. We are supposed to close at 6. Exactly. Okay. Please, let your question. We have 4 hands up, so let your question be short and precise, please. Hassan Adama, please unmute yourself.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Jeremiah, for a very, very good presentation. My question will be just snappy. Please, what are we supposed to look out for? Because as we say, everything good is also bad. As new people who are getting into the blockchain industry and want to learn more, how do we look out for like fake kind of like cryptocurrencies and those stuff? Because you have to maybe give us some few tips to look out for, to know that this blockchain or this cryptocurrency investment is fake and this one is genuine. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Jeremiah will answer this question, but before that, we are advocating Cardano blockchain technology. This is the blockchain that we are using, and this is the only blockchain that I can testify for you. This is the only blockchain that I can tell you that it is authentic and it is here to stay. That's a Cardano blockchain technology. Aside that, I don't use any other technology. I don't use any other blockchain. So this is what I can tell you, that we are introducing and advocating Cardano blockchain technology to you. If by any chance you get to know of any other blockchain and you want to go into that one, do your own background check and make sure that it is authentic and it's not a prosy. Jeremiah, would you like to add something to this, please?
Yes, I'll just add something small to what you have just added. Yeah, there are several ways of as a newbie. So, and I think during my presentation, I even made mention of, or was it during the question and answers, during this period of question and answers, there's what we call a popular saying in the blockchain space, DYOR, do your own research. So that is very important. And how do you do your own research? Somebody will ask. So maybe to identify good projects or to identify good cryptocurrencies or blockchains, one of the fundamental things you should do is you get to know the team. What's the team behind the project? Who are they? Are they imaginary people, or they are real and they have maybe physical spaces or offices where the community is able to interact with them? And once you do this, get to also know their the white paper, what they are out to achieve. Most cryptocurrencies come out with a white paper, and you should be able to look at what they intend to do. And usually best projects don't promise flashy rewards overnight. No. So once you see a particular blockchain promising you wealth overnight, the get rich quick kind of thing, then this one, you should take a second thought about it, and how feasible is the project to what they say they want to do, or what their blockchain seeks to solve. How feasible is it? How realistic is it? I think maybe feasibility, some of you now know what feasibility is because a lot of you are accessing proposals. So how feasible is the is a blockchain, the project they want to do? What real life issues or global issues are they out to solve? And what are their partnerships? So once you get to understand this about the blockchain, then this informs you that blockchain A is best and worth spending my time on and learning about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Osman, please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? It should be short and precise, please. Osman Abubakar, your hands is up.
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Jama, thank you very much for your presentation. I just want to find out, like, between the cryptocurrencies, can you send the tokens between them, or are they like supporting each other, or you have a way you can do?
Okay, thank you. Your question is interesting. And please never make that attempt to maybe you are sending Cardano over Bitcoin. Hey, that one, your money will be lost forever if your wallet doesn't prompt you that this is a wrong address. But the only way, maybe as time goes on, we'll talk about some of these things maybe in our next lectures. You know, when I was showing you the examples of cryptocurrencies, I mentioned Theta, or some will call it Terra. It's a stable coin. So the work of the stable coin is that it helps you transfer from one token to a stable token, then convert it to another token. So let's say maybe you want to send, let's say, ADA to a Bitcoin holder, maybe $1,000 worth of ADA. You want to send $1,000 to a Bitcoin holder. You can't just send it from ADA straight to the Bitcoin address. No, you have to convert it to a stable coin that is USDT. Maybe, for example, we have a lot of them. Then you can now buy Bitcoin if that is how you want it, and now transfer it to the person. So the fundamental thing is that you send cryptocurrency to like addresses. So maybe Bitcoin to Bitcoin, Cardano to Cardano, Ethereum to Ethereum. Yeah, so for now, I don't know of any blockchain that has solved that problem where you can send Cardano straight to a Bitcoin address. No, that one you are violating a lot of rules. But if you can also implement that, if you're a developer, I think that will be game changing. Thank you.
Mr. Jamal, please, so what about Binance?
Please, if you want to talk, you raise your hand, please. There are people in the queue.
Is
This
it
is still Osman. This is still
Okay.
Osman.
Binance is an exchange
Binance.
platform.
Yeah.
Binance is an exchange platform that you can change your ADA to any other currency that you want.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
Can I ask my
Mohammed Abubakar. Can you please unmute yourself and ask a question?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Mr. Jeremiah, thanks for your presentation. I just wanted to know whether, as part of the consensus for blockchain, I just wanted to know whether either ban some of its tokens in order to keep it strong or increase its value over time.
Please, your line was
that
breaking. So I didn't hear you.
ban some of
Are you asking if ADA have been banning?
I said I just want to its token exactly.
If Cardano have been banning its token to stabilize the market, the answer is no. No, Cardano doesn't do that, but there are other blockchains that they ban their tokens. That is, if it is circulating, if it is high too much in the market. But so far, Cardano have never done such a thing. You will be told, if you ask that question in the community, they will ask you to bring your money, so we ban that one.
Exactly, yeah.
Which you would not like to do so. So whose
Yes.
money should we ban?
Yeah, so that protocol is actually on Cardano. I think Charles Hoskinson mentioned it some time ago. That people were like, why don't you ban some of your tokens? But he said, we have the proof of ban protocol that supports the Cardano blockchain. So maybe those of you who have your bags of ADA and you want the prices to go up, so you can send your addresses that's holding your huge bags to this proof of ban address, then it will ban it and at least prices will go up.
Okay, before I will add this question, Rich Musaba asked a question. Is it it's asking if you can reuse your ADA address. If I send my ADA address to Jeremiah for funds, can I send it to Madam Efe again for another funds? That's a question which Musaba was asking. And the answer is yes, you can do that. But it's always advisable that you generate new key for individual people. Let me share this short as a life experiment. So Madam Efe is supposed to send me some money for your reward. And I was like, oh, send it to the same address I gave it to the last time. So she quickly went into our chat, copy an address, and send the funds to. No knowing, I've also shared another person's address with her. So she copied that one and the funds went to the person. But the person was a good Samaritan. The person returned the money. Because we know the person, we contacted the person and the person returned the money. So always cross-check your ADA address before sending. Make sure that you copy it from your wallet and you are giving it to the right person. And the sender to have to verify that this is the exact address that I've copied and it is in relation to the person that I'm sending it to. So you have to be vigilant when you are doing transactions and then check your wallet, your address. But it's advisable, like you can use your address, one address for multiple transactions. And you have over a million addresses. So why do you want to always use one for all your transactions? Okay, so let's take this last question from Hadi Bansi. Please unmute yourself and ask your.
Okay. Good evening.
Good
Yes,
evening.
my question is about the delegation of the ADA, because since they said that is a requirement for Fund 9, you have to delegate 5 ADA before you can be given a reward. So I wanted to find out, how do we do the delegation? Because when you go on the delegation, there seems some options to come. Then even some of the options, the price are already fixed. The amount of currency you want to delegate is already fixed. So I wish you to take us through, or you explain to us how to do the delegation.
No, that's not the case. Adi, I think this topic was treated, I think 2 weeks ago. But don't worry, we will advise you to go to our YouTube channel. We have a video of this over there. Please watch the video and you'll be educated more about delegation of your ADA. Okay.
And to add to that, you can private message me, or you can private message any of us, Richmond, David, Mustafa, Emilia, or anybody, and we'll explain it more to you.
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
watch the YouTube. If you are not getting it, please private message us. We will we'll help you get through it. Because I remember last week you asked and we took you through, and you said you were getting difficulty at the secret, the spending password.
Oh, actually, that was a different person, not myself.
Oh, okay.
But I'll follow up.
Yeah, so you can follow up on us, because I've seen that people are saying they are tired and their phone is running out. So we will pass here and say a very good thank you. And I hope you notice it. We are going to now pay rewards by your quiz. We are going to do a quiz after this. Next week, we are going to do Introductory to Blockchain 2. And after the Introductory to Blockchain 2, there's going to be a quiz. And then we will see whether you are actually taking in what we are teaching you, or you just came here for the goodies. We have to make sure that what we are teaching is having an impact on everyone. So next week we are doing blockchain 2, and then the following week we are doing a quiz. Thank you very much, and I hope we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Modefia. So let's do this one last exercise. Let us all unmute ourselves and let's say goodbye in our native language. We are all going to say goodbye in our native language. Unmute yourself. So let's go. Ojiko. Unmute yourself and say
goodbye.
Those who want to speak English.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.